Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Self Care 360. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. I am Adassa, a recovering workaholic and the voice behind ROS Beauty, Health, and Marriage. I'm grateful that you're here and so glad that you've joined me on this journey towards total wellness, mind, body, and soul. Today, I want to talk about something I know that so many of us struggle with, and that is protecting our energy while working from home. I've been there, feeling drained, feeling overwhelmed, and feeling like my home was becoming work central. But I've learned some simple strategies that completely shifted my experience. So let's dive in. We're going to talk about 5 tips to help us that work from home. So if you work from home, these tips are for you. If you're thinking about working from home in the future, it's for you as well. If you're in school and your program is going to give you the opportunity to work from home, then this is for you. All right, let's dive into these tips. The first tip is challenges of working from home. We're going to also talk about how to set boundaries for work-life balance, creating a calming workspace, prioritizing breaks and movements, and finally, end of day rituals. All right, so let's dive into the challenges of working from home. There are 3 that I can identify: distractions, overworking, or feeling drained. Let's talk about those one at a time. Whenever you work from home, especially if you have small children, daycare age, preschool age children, it could be a distraction. I'm not saying that our children are distractions, but if you have a child that is going to require your attention while you're on the clock and you feel like, well, I don't have to pay for daycare because I'm at home already. If your child is preschool age, you need to get your child in preschool, daycare, or get another adult to take care of your child during your work hours. One of the things to note is that your job is paying you for 8 hours of work, and those 8 hours should be dedicated to work. Now, if you have a child or children in school and your child is out of school because they're at home here, go ahead and tell the boss, look, we work from home. My child is homesick. Occasionally, I may have to step away to tend to my child. That's totally understandable. But on a day-to-day basis, you're going to say, well, I'm no longer going to pay for daycare because I work from home. You're going to have a screaming child in your background. You're trying to work and you're distracted and can't give you 100%. All right? So that's one kind of distraction. Other kind of distraction is if you have barking dogs. Now, some dogs, I can speak from example. I have a German Shepherd. Her name is Darling. When we got Darling, we had no clue that she knew how to bark because she never barks. Until one day, my husband and my daughter went for a walk and another German Shepherd railed up, barking and coming close to them. She just barked out at that other dog. My husband was so surprised. He called me and said, guess what? Darling knows how to bark. And so from then on, I realized that Darling have the characteristics like myself, wherein if I don't have something to say, I keep quiet. I'm an observer. I listen and I talk very little. So Darling is like that. If she senses danger or she won't let us know that, okay, someone's at the door, occasionally you will hear something from her. Most times you don't hear anything. If you have a dog and the dog is going to be barking all day, it's going to be difficult for you, especially if your job is on the phone. So think about things like that. Maybe your office is in a room where your dog can be downstairs, you're upstairs. There are different ways to maneuver that. Think about those things before you decide that working from home is going to be the direction that you go. All right? Minimize any kinds of distraction because if the dog is constantly barking, you're not going to be at your best. Think about the things that you can do to mitigate that. Other distractions are people coming to your door, ringing your bell. I have gotten to the point where I had to put a sign up. Do not ring my bell. I am working, and whenever you ring the bell, you are distracting me from my job. Even with the sign, they would still ring the bell. I just go ahead and unplug it. My bell was one of those bells that you put on the outside and plug inside. I just went ahead and unplugged it to mitigate that. Distraction could be other adult or older children in the home. I'm grateful that at this point, my baby is going to be 18 this month. I don't have distraction from kids. Daughter and son at home may ask me a question. I can put myself on mute for a little bit or take a few seconds to answer their questions or whatever they need. As mom, you know where everything is. Everybody's going to always be coming to you for stuff. I've dealt with that. I have a spouse that whenever he's home, he may want to know, okay, where is the disinfectant? That's life. Our employers know that we work from home. We have families and other things that can take us away a little bit at a time. So those are the three major distractions. Now, overworking. I remember post-pandemic when we all came home, my company, when things got back to normal, for us to come back to work, nobody wanted to go back to work. We wanted to work from home because we got used to it. It was convenient. The work we did since we were home for that year was triple what we would have done in the office. You drive to work, battle with traffic, get to work, you're already tired and upset. Then you do your job and head home. You are not going to be able to provide good quality work as if you were working from home. So that's one reason why we overwork sometimes. Now, sitting at home, you're at your desk. Before you know it, it's 2, 3, 4 hours. You haven't gotten up because you're grinding. You are trying to get this project out and nothing is going to stop you. You're working your tail feathers off trying to get the work done. Then there are others of us working to prove ourselves because the promotion is coming up and we want to make sure we are meeting our metrics, but we're working ourselves to death. We're overworking ourselves. And in the midst of the overworking ourselves, we are unproductive. It is what we would call counterproductive. Because if you work your regular 40-hour week, at the end of the week, you are going to do better quality work than if you work 50, 60 hours per week. You're just coming in, showing up and making overtime, but the quality of your work is not there. Overworking is not something that I encourage. And the other thing is feeling drained. As a result, you get off work and you are no use to yourself, your family, or anybody else. You want to just go lay down. So those are some of the challenges that we can face working from home. Now, number 2, we're going to set boundaries for work-life balance. We talk a lot about work-life balance, but are we really practicing work-life balance? What I suggest is whatever your work hours are, say for example, you're working 9 to 5, 10 to 7, stick to those hours and communicate your boundaries to your families, roommate, etc. If you have a question, stick a pin in it. If it can wait, not an emergency, stick a pin in it and let me commit to my work. And after work, we can talk our boundaries that other people know and respect the fact that, okay, I want you to understand that when I'm at work to get my work done. And I'd appreciate it if you would respect that. Not only that, you'll be able to get done with your projects or whatever you're working on with less distraction. Setting those boundaries are important. Now, there are some individuals who cannot do anything for themselves. They always have to come to you. And because of that, you get frustrated. It causes resentment. But if you clearly set those boundaries, you can stop some of those things from happening. Nip it in the bud, they say. So those are boundaries. And now, Number 3, we're going to create a common workspace, right? So your common workspace could be plants. It could be natural lighting. It could be soothing scents. So let's talk about all of those. About 3 years ago, I purchased some plants and did some research, and I found out the plants that were house cleaning, they would clean the air. They clean the air inside your home. So I got 2 rubber trees, a snake plant, or in other words, mother-in-law's tongue, and a peace lily. All 3 of those plants clean the air in your home. One side of my house doesn't get any sun, so those plants were not very happy. I put 2 of those plants outside. Rubber trees, I didn't know this, were in a pot, but they grow a root that comes out of the pot into the dirt, as wide as my finger. If you don't have any dirt, it's like a thread. But once it starts pull energy or pull nutrients from the soil, that plant is like this, the root, and that thing was taking off. And then it got so tall that it was top heavy, so the pot, whenever there was some wind, would topple over. So I decided it's time to get it inside. I have both of them in the house now, 2 rubber trees in the house. I have my mother-in-law's tongue, and I also have a peace lily in my office where I work. I didn't know this until someone online shared that peace lilies actually droop. Matter of fact, I was speaking to a student, and she told me that peace lilies droop. They miss you when you're gone. We went out of the country for 2 weeks, and I had a sitter come in and take care of the home. Even with the sitter there, watering the plants, when I came back, that peace lily was dying. I realized that when I'm beside her, I talk to her, I water her, I spray her leaves. She does fine. But when I leave, she misses me and she droops. So that's one of the things that I do to create that common workspace. Other thing is lights. Luckily for me, the room that I work out of have 3 windows. So I have a lot of natural lighting. Soothing scents could be a candle, incense, or essential oil in a diffuser. I have used all 3, but never really consistent until after I did this research for this video and realized that, okay, I gotta up my game. So those are some of the ways you can create a common workspace. Number 4, prioritize breaks and movement. This one is coming from the heart. Because of personal experience, I would sit for hours, and most of my jobs have been in the clerical administrative sphere. I worked with the state of Alabama Disability Determination Services. I work with the school system as a secretary to a principal at a high school. All of my jobs have been just sitting at a desk. And most of the times the desks are not ergonomic. The chair is not ergonomically correct. The desk is not, so that wear and tear. So last year, I started having neck and shoulder pains to the point where I had to go to physical therapy. My legs were burning, and I'm like, what's going on? So now what I do is I have a stand-up desk in the mornings. My desk is up, I'm working, moving my body, doing a butterfly with my legs, so kicking my legs back or doing walking in place to keep the circulation going, because our bodies are never made to sit for 8 hours, right? Some of us do not take breaks. This is counterproductive. You may think that you're getting more work done by not taking your breaks and trying to get this promotion, but you're hurting yourself. We need breaks, especially if we are on the computer and constantly staring at the screen. So what I've done, thankful I have a boss that I can feel comfortable talking to. I asked her when I first started working in the department, the company gives us 2 15-minute breaks. I asked her, can I take a 20-minute break and a 10-minute break? And she said that was fine. I walk a mile in 18 minutes. So I set my alarm for 9 minutes. I walk half a mile. The alarm goes off. I head back and get back to work. Not only that, I'm moving my body. and getting my vitamin D on those days when it is nice and sunny outside. Super important. We want to make sure if you can't go for a walk, at least do some light yoga or stretch. Take a break and walk away from the desk. It's going to be super important for you. You may be young right now in your 20s and 30s and you feel like you're like a superwoman. It will catch up on you. I am part of the over 50 crowd, and the tingling in the legs is no fun. The fatigue is no fun. So I'm speaking from experience. If you know what I'm talking about, say ouch in the comments. This is for real. We want to make sure that we are taking our breaks, we are stretching, exercising. Sometimes I'm talking to my students, I'm on one leg because I'm stretching the other leg and strengthening my body at the same time. As we get older, our bones get brittle and our bodies start to break down. Whenever we exercise, we build muscles. We can strengthen our muscles by doing these things. It's so important. If we're into the work because we want to prove ourselves, you may think you're getting a lot done, but the quality of your work is not going to be good, and then you are breaking your body down. End of day rituals. Now, this is the one that I haven't not done. I did all the other ones, but end of day rituals is something that I got from the research for this video. Some of the ways that you can end your day is for you to close the door, turn the computer off. Do not log in because you forgot that you was going to print a paycheck or something. I want you to, when you sign off, you sign off. Do not go there and try to log in. Next thing you know, you're working some more. It's important. Change your clothes. Light a candle. You're going to wind down and mentally and emotionally separate your work time from your personal time. All right? Not all of us is privy to having an office with a door, but you may have it where you can turn the computer off, turn the light off, and say, now I'm going to a different space. What I do is my chairs in the living room recline. I go in my recliner. I get something to drink, and I either study Spanish, listen to music, burn incense, something to break away and say, this is my personal time. Working from home doesn't have to drain you. It can actually empower you when you can create balance and protect your energy. So I hope these tips inspired you, your space, your work, and your routine moving forward. If you love this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, share it with a sister, and leave a comment. Let me know which of these tips are you going to be using this week. And until next time, I want you to know that these strategies will work for you if you work them. Take care of yourself, sisters. You deserve it.